Welcome to IMAGI-NATION TV, week 16, episode 75, featuring youngsters on the theme of gift of time. My name is Kalani Ripley. I'm in year 12. I go to Miami State High School. And personally, the gift of time means to be able to harness things that we don't have enough space to do, enough time to do, as you may say. Being able to put our minds to something for such a series of time, being able to do that, it's hard to explain it without using the word time, but being able to do something and put our minds to something for so long allows us to really progress ourselves as people. And alongside that, I want to just introduce my co-host for today, my fellow co-host, Chloe West. Hello, how are you?
Thanks, Kalani. I'm going good, yeah? So I would just like to give a little reflection, a recap of what happened yesterday. We had Charlotte as our host talking about the youngsters about gift of time, which she did a great job at, and how extremely important it is. Then we had Bob Hands, the one with the hot air balloons for the wizardry, which was amazing. And we also had the president of the Imagination speech with a little French from our chaos classroom and speaking to Jack about the life of being accepted within AIM. But first, let's start the video of This Hoodie Pays Rent. I love those. I love those videos. Today, we are going to have the youngsters takeover panel, which is going to be involved with Riley, Imogen, Charlotte, and Nate.
So to start off, now I'm going to introduce, but first I'm going to say, Chloe, what does the gift of time mean to you?
The gift of time to me means we have to accept every individual thing that we get in life and push it forward, because we've only got one chance in life, and let's just do it.
Absolutely. And also to you guys in the chat line, we've got Ian, Helen, Stephanie, Luna, Charisse. We've got so many people coming in the chat line. We'd love to hear your questions on today's panel. Now, we're going to start off. I'm going to introduce Riley. We've been having a bit of a chat before the show, but I would like to ask you again, what does the theme gift of time mean to you?
So the theme in the gift of time meaning to me, it's something very important. As we were speaking about earlier, so just time, it just opens a whole mindset. Just thinking about time, there's so many different pathways, so many different perspectives that you can look at time. And I might start off with a little kind of like a little story here. So time means something very important to me. And I turn 18 next week, and that's 18 years of my life full of learning and just all different challenges that I've had to overcome. And something that I've wanted for a long time is a tattoo. And I'm going to be getting a tattoo, and it's going to be a clock sort of design with a quote that I've heard watching a Netflix series actually, and it was, "No time is really wasted, time reveals all." And ever since learning that, it's changed my perspective on life completely, as a lot of things happen, and a lot of people do say, "I just wasted my time doing that," or "You just wasted my time." But if you think into that, your time was never wasted. It was just another learning curve and another obstacle in your life. And just doing everything, you're learning every single day. And that's all because of time. Like, time has given you that chance to mature and grow up and learn about all these different things in life. So time is something very important to me. And
yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday for next week. You didn't tell me that. So with that, when you think of the gift of time and the link to your journey, is, I'm a year 12 student, you're a year 12 student. When you think of that and you're getting a tattoo to represent, time and different things like that, what is the link between the gift of time and your journey?
The link, I would say, I don't know, pretty much towards what I was saying before. Like it's helped me learn so much, and I've taken so much time to sit and think about all the different challenges that I've overcome, and so many things that have affected me as a person, have what made me who I am. And the gift, like time, is just like gifted everyone with all these opportunities, and it's just great, really.
Thanks for that, Riley. I've got a few questions for Nate. So first of all, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? Tell me some of your interests, your hobbies, and yeah.
My name is Nate Kellermeyer. I am in my last year at Woodridge State High School, and yeah, I've been with AIM since I think 2017, and I was lucky enough to be selected into the group of young students that go to Sydney and create what they call an AIM anthem. And ever since then, I've been with them, and I've just recently joined the IMAGI-NATION TV, and it's been fun.
What's your one memory that you have of Imagination TV that's really stuck out to you?
It's probably the first time I was featured on it. I was struggling to get online, and by the time I was connected to the actual whole thing, the entire show finished, and I wasn't able to actually get on. So I was sort of embarrassed. I felt responsible because I couldn't connect. I thought it was on my end, but I was able to make up for it the following week, and I was featured on it again, which was a relief.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand that worry of not being able to connect. I had for this. I didn't have the link to this, and I was freaking out. I was like, how am I going to get to rehearsals? But so with that being said, Nate, you wrote a poem about change, and it was part of the AIM anthem. What made you feel connected to the AIM anthem, and what made you think that, what made you step up and step out of your comfort zone, and how did time help you with that?
Well, when I was writing my little speech about change, we took a lunch break, and I left my piece of paper on the table, thinking nothing of it. And I think one of the mentors read it, and they encouraged me to get up and speak in front of about, I think, 4 or 5 other schools that were there at the time. And I was extremely nervous. I did not want to do it, and I only did it because my friend had gotten up and said his speech. And so they recorded us while we were doing it, and a few weeks later, I got a call saying that they wanted to feature me in the AIM anthem in Sydney. And I had doubts. I think for the first couple of days, I was telling myself that I'll just skip it. I'll just miss out on it because I feel like I'm not ready to speak in front of people and to go to Sydney all by myself. But over time, my family and my friends encouraged me to do it, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever done. I got to go to Sydney. I got to go see the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and I was able to grow as a person. Before, I didn't really like speaking to people that I didn't know, but going to Sydney forced me to socialize, to go and get to know the other mentors, the other kids from across Australia, and to get up on stage and speak in front of hundreds of people. So I think it really helped me grow as a person.
Yeah, and that's something that AIM is so good at. It personally, it opened me up as well to be a lot more open and a lot more forward thinking and really a lot more confident. And that's something that AIM builds up. Now, we've got Emogen here. So a lot of people call her Emmy, but are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Awesome. Hello. So you're in year 12, same as me, but I've got a question. But first of all, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? What are you doing? How you going?
I'm Emogen. Like you said, a lot of people call me Emmy. I'm 17, and again, yeah, I'm undertaking year 12. I've been a part of AIM since about year 8, and it's really encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. I've co-hosted an episode of IMAGI-NATION TV a couple weeks ago. It was a great experience. But another key thing about me is that I do Irish dancing, and I've been doing this for forever basically, and it's something incredibly special to my family and to me as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that so something about Irish dancing. I don't know much about it. I'm sure you could teach me a lot more than I know about it. So is there something, whether in Irish dancing or with a friend or a family, where you wish you were given more time? Is there something like that?
I think mentally with Irish dancing, when you approach a competition, it's like, oh, I wish I had that more time, to better prepare. Because I feel like in some situations you're like, oh, I'm prepared. You get to the comp, it's like, I'm not prepared. And like, you wish that you had just that little bit of extra time. But yeah, it's good. You can definitely use your time wisely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I did dance for 10 years, and it was something where the more time you get, the more crisp and the better everything gets. And I feel like I can resonate with that quite a lot. So I'll throw to our co-host Chloe to go ahead and ask Charlotte some questions.
Oh yeah, sick. Before I get into some questions, I've got a bit of a comment in the YouTube channel. First of all, we have Robbie Miller saying, yes, Riley, well said. We also have Stefani saying, I was the one in the AI in the Sydney day when you said the other mentees. It is an inspiration for me for the past 3 years. Penny has a question for you, Charlotte. If you could give a measurement of time, what would it be?
We can't really measure time necessarily, but like obviously there's big things in time like memories that you can make in time. You can't really measure it necessarily.
All right, we've got another question from Katrina in the YouTube saying, speaking about the gift of time, what do you think about time travel?
Ooh, time travel. I wish we could time travel, like different. You could learn more about how things are created, how things evolved. Like like for example, phones that we use today, how they were made. You could travel back in time, see what they used to use in that before then. I reckon it'd be pretty cool.
Nice. And now my question for you is, I heard you wanted to be a hairdresser. What has momented you to become that? And are you still wanting to do that?
I want to be a hairdresser because personally I struggle with like how I feel and like how the world sees me, and I want to make people like, by becoming a hairdresser, it's sort of like giving back to the community, and I want to be able to help people feel proud of like them walking out of a hair salon with like how they look, and like I want to make them feel proud of how they look.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's it's so good that you want to build up people's confidence and make them feel so much better about themselves. There's so much negativity in the world, and I think if you make yourself feel make somebody feel so much more special just from the way they look, and it's something that when I put on a nice hoodie, like a name hoodie, or you put on like a nice jacket, you feel you have so much more confidence. Now I am going to ask one more question before we start to steer away from the topic of time, but I just want to, this is to everyone. I'm going to start off with asking for Nate's answer, but this was going on from before. If you could time travel, what time period would you want to go to, and why?
I'd love to visit the so-called pirate era. I don't know why, it's just something about pirates that I just love, and I just like sailing out in the sea, and like even just going to the different islands, and mainly because the exploring, like back then we didn't know how big the earth was. We didn't know if it was flat or if it was round or if it was the shape of like on a spoon or something. Where I just, that feeling of adventure and going out to explore has always been with me, like for as long as I can remember, and I've always wanted to know what it was like just sailing on the sea as a pirate. So I'd time travel back there.
That was not where I was thinking, but that's actually really cool. I think I played too many pirate video games that I think I wouldn't survive there. But Imogen, where would you want to go in what period, what time period?
That's a tricky question. I've always wanted to like see what it was like before technology. So like, I'm not really sure what time that would be, to be honest, but I definitely would think traveling back to a time before technology would be such a good place to go see or like to be in, because then you're experiencing how other people experienced before technology, and now technology is such a big thing in like modern society. To see what it was like without it would be like really special.
Absolutely. I had trouble getting my phone off mute then. But so before technology would be really cool because you'd be able to see, like what it'd be like back in New York where they didn't have any cars and it was just horses and carriages. That'd be really weird actually to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really weird. We've got a few things from the chat line. First off, we've got Tom Wensley saying, memories a form of time travel? What do you guys? I'll ask this to Charlotte. Do you think memories are a form of time travel?
Not necessarily like obviously traveling back in time, but it's a place you can go like remember something from like your childhood, and you're sort of not reliving it, but you can sort of go back and reminiscent over those memories.
Yeah, it's a really good idea to take over all your memories, and honestly, it just gives you more kind of intent on what you want to do, I guess. I have a question for you, Kalani. Do you have any business advice for young people?
Oh, okay. I was not expecting the question to go to me. So obviously I run a business. It's sort of successful, I suppose. I'd say for a young person for business advice, well, you've caught me off guard here. It's very rare. I don't know what to say. I would say, generally, you'd probably be best off to just try things. Don't go out spending hundreds of thousands of dollars or spending tens or don't go maxing out your budget, but just back yourself. Have some confidence and go out there and think of certain things that you may like. If you like clothes, go out, buy a hoodie. Go to Kmart, buy a hoodie, and try paint it or decorate it. And the thing I've always liked about running a business is that I've had control over which direction it's going to go. Similar to how Chloe and I today have control over where this panel is sort of going to seek and what questions we ask. We can sort of steer the ship to which way into what area we're going to go. But I think being a business owner, it's sort of the same, and it's a lot of problem solving. And at least as my job, it's not so much grunt work anymore. It's more so problem solving. It's he's done this, so we've got to go and fix this. So it's just having good problem solving skills, and also making sure that you just go out there and have a shot. It's not as dooming as you may think.
Yeah, exactly. Another question from Penny. We have, what do you think the present would look like without the technology we have today? I'm going to hit that over to Riley, actually.
The president, if we didn't have technology, that's a hard one, but I'd say they wouldn't look any different to how the presidents look today. It might be like a different sort of dress, but I'd say these people have always had their drive to like become the president, and that's what they've wanted to do. And I'd say even without technology, just something in them still would have led them towards where they wanted to be. So technology definitely had a big influence on like who the presidents are and what they look like, but I'd say it wouldn't be much different.
Yeah. You all have such an amazing mindset, like honestly. Last question is, we speak about gifting time to others, how important it is to give time to ourselves, and what ways are we able to do that? This is from Georgie, by the way. I'm going to hand that over to Imogen.
So the question is like how we give time to ourselves, yeah? All right. So I think what is important, especially like with school and hobbies and stuff, the gift of time to ourselves is to be able to have that time to just switch off from everything, to have that time to relax, time to give back to yourself, to then reflect on everything you have done and like actually not stress about it as much. Like giving some time to yourself is sometimes the best thing you can do for better success, because you've got that time to reflect, to relax, and that can impact how, successful you are, or how you are, like, mentally, if you're positive and stuff like that, because you've reflected and you've given that time to yourself to better yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense. Now we're wrapping up the panel here. So I just want to say, thank you so much, Charlotte, Imogen, Riley, Nate. Thank you guys so much for coming on. It's awesome to hear from young minds around Australia that I have a lot of opinions as a young Australian, and to hear it from a different perspective from you guys, and a lot of you guys are year 12 like myself, and I really do appreciate you guys coming on to AIM TV. And I think one of the things today, and some of the key learnings that we've learned from today, is that time is so valuable. It's the thing that doesn't cost anything, but we should really take away and give it to people. I think one of the things that I talk about so much is just being happy and always having a smile. I know it's hard as somebody who's always stressed out. You can talk. You can talk on your phone, and you're walking down the street, and it's hard to actually just go and stop, and somebody might be smiling at you across the street, and just walking down the street and smiling. A smile doesn't cost anything, or a wave, or a conversation doesn't cost anything, but it makes somebody's day. The amount of times that I've talked to an 80-year-old woman in the shops who she's just honestly like the loveliest lady, and I see her all the time. She's great. She has so much knowledge, but she also has so much time to share it. And that's something, as our elders also have so much time to share it for us. And I think, and seeing you guys as year 12s, and Charlotte's a year 10, which is even crazy to think that you're jumping forth and becoming a leader so early on. And I definitely wasn't doing this in year 10. It makes us so it makes me proud, and it makes all of AIM proud, because I think a lot of the people around AIM Nation so proud, because we think about time and how much it's given to us. So I would just want to leave you guys with the fact that it's not hard to just put on a smile, give a wave, and say hi, because people always say they don't have time, but you do. You always have time. You always have time to give a wave and a smile, because it costs no extra time. So thank you guys so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Chloe, my co-host. Thank you, Riley, Charlotte, Imogen, Nate. I nearly forgot you, but thank you guys so much for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for watching IMAGI-NATION TV today. Episode 75, week 16. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And thank you, Chloe, for being my co-host. Peace.